Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Draw with Rob. With me, Rob Biddulph. That's me in cartoon form on the back of the latest My First Draw with Rob book. And as you can see, this one is all about vehicles with a nice little digger on the front. And basically, if you can think of a vehicle, I have probably drawn it in this book. We have all sorts of things. Look, jet skis, bicycles, diggers, cars, trains, planes, everything you can think of, and it's full of like colouring pages, lots of draw-alongs. This little train is called Snugglechuck, pretty cute, huh? And there's lots of nice frames for you to draw your pictures in, as I said, puzzles, police and emergency vehicles, cars, all sorts of things. Look, bit of a colouring page there. So if you are the type of person who likes, you know, things that go, do check this book out. But I'm an author and an illustrator, okay, so I draw the pictures, but I also write the words, and I've written lots of picture books. This is my latest one. It's called I Follow the Fox. It's all about this little boy here. Can you see he's got a little toy fox? But one day he loses his toy fox on a wintry day, and he gets the help of this real fox here, and maybe, just maybe, this fox can help him find his toy, and in return maybe the boy can help the fox with something too. I'm super proud of this book, so if you haven't seen it, do check it out. I've also written some chapter books too, the Peanut Jones series, which is all about a little girl called Peanut Jones who finds this pencil here, which is a magic pencil. She learns that everything she draws with this pencil turns into a real object. So if she draws an apple, she can take a bite out of that drawing. And one day she draws a door. Of course, she can open that door and walk through it, and she finds herself in a totally illustrated world and has all sorts of adventures. Look, I've done loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of illustrations in this book. So if maybe you haven't read a chapter book before, this one could be quite a good first one to read. Look at this, it's one of my favourite chapters because she falls, and look, I made all the type tumble and fall too. So yeah, maybe if you haven't read a chapter book before, this could be a good place to start. There's 3 books in the series. But enough of this chatting. We are here today to do a drawing together. And today we are going to draw a primate. We are going to draw a macaque, which is a kind of, yeah, it's a, I think it's actually, do you know what? I'm not sure if it's an, I'm going to say it's a type of ape. I'm not sure. Rob, is this macaque a type of ape? I'm going to put on screen exactly what kind of primate it is, because I didn't do my research properly before I started drawing. But what I can tell you is this macaque, I think it's going to be a Sulawesi macaque, if you want to be specific. It's a very fun thing to draw because I've drawn it before. I did some live events at Whipsnade Zoo last year, and I drew, and they've got some Sulawesi macaques at the zoo, and so I drew one of those Sulawesi macaques for a live event that I did. So I thought I would show everybody how to do it because I had such fun doing it before. Now, we have drawn a few primates before. We've done a monkey. Check out video number 12. That's a monkey. And I've drawn a gorilla too, which was video way back, video number 30. And they were, again, 2 of my favourites to do. So I thought, right, let's have another go at drawing a primate, shall we? So, in case you haven't watched one of these videos before, this is how it works. Lots of people tell me they don't think they're very good at drawing. I can't draw, Rob, they say. Adults and children here. And I say, that's nonsense. Everybody can draw. You know, who's to say what's a good drawing and what's a bad drawing? It's all about your own personal taste, isn't it? And anyway, I think anyone can draw. Some people just need a bit of help with the order that we do the drawing in. And that's where I come in. Because I am going to break this drawing of a Sulawesi macaque. I'm going to break it down into little bite-sized pieces. So that means I'm going to draw, you know, a line here, a circle there, a little curve there. And in between each of these little bite-sized pieces, you can pause the video and you copy what I do, okay? Start me up again, I'll draw a little bit more. Pause me, you draw. I draw, you draw. I draw, you draw. I draw, you draw. I draw, you draw. I draw. By the end, after about half an hour or so, maybe less, we will hopefully have a lovely drawing of a Sulawesi macaque that we are super, super proud of. So you're going to need a piece of paper. You're going to need a pen or a pencil, maybe something to colour with a bit later on. If you haven't got anything to colour with, please don't worry. You can just colour and shade in with your pencil. That's absolutely fine. But I think we should make a little start. Should we do it? Right, the very first thing that I want you to do, we are going to draw, let me think about this. Let's draw a vertical line. So about 4/5 of the way up your page, slightly right of centre, I want you to draw a vertical line. Like that. So what's that? About 4 or 5 centimetres long. Now can you see I'm using one of my lovely brush pens. So my vertical lines are all sort of bumpy and uneven, and that's fine. I like it when it looks a bit bumpy and uneven. If your drawing doesn't look exactly like mine, please don't worry, it's not meant to. Remember what I said earlier, everybody can draw and everybody's drawings are going to look different. That's the beauty of art. Drawing is like a fingerprint. You can't help but put a bit of yourself into your drawing. So if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, please don't worry, it's not meant to. The next thing I want you to do is another vertical line parallel to that, maybe 2 centimeters apart, exactly the same length. So 2 nice vertical lines. And then we're going to join them up at the bottom. Actually, what we're going to do first of all, no, we'll join them up at the bottom with a nice curve. Like that. So it's a big tall U shape that we have drawn. The next thing I want you to do, coming out from each side, tiny little lines going right and left. 0.5 centimetre, no more than that. Just tiny little lines. And then do you know what? We're going to join this point up with this point, but we're not going to obviously just go straight across because that would make a straight line. We're going to go sort of in an arc around the top. So we're going to go up, over, like that, and then turn around and join up on that side. So it looks like a kind of mushroom shape. The next thing that I want you to do, inside this top of this mushroom shape, we're going to draw another curved line. It doesn't quite touch the edge, but goes from one side to the other, like that. And then coming down from the middle of that, we're going to draw, so slightly right of centre again, we're going to draw a curved line to about there, so slightly less than halfway down. Can you see it's just slightly going out to the right? And then we're going to do another one on the other side, which is kind of a mirror image, so it's going to come down but slightly go out to the left this time. And I'm going to change pens actually because I've got a slightly thinner pen. And I'm going to join these 2 lines up. I'm not going to join them up in a straight line. I'm going to do 3 little bubbles. 1, 2, 3, like that. And I wonder if you can tell what part of the macaque we're drawing now. Shall I tell you? This is actually, believe it or not, this is actually our macaque's face. If you see them in real life, you'll see they've got very sort of tall, thin faces. And this shape we've just drawn here is our macaque's nose. Okay? So, let's draw the eyes now. Now the eyes, this is the brow that we drew up here. So what I want you to do is 2 semicircles. 1, 2, like that. And that is going to be our macaque's eyes. And you can sort of already see there's lots of character in this drawing. It's a really good one, this. Let's draw the pupils now. So we do another semicircle, just coming down from that line inside each of those bigger semicircles. And this time we colour them in, and as if by magic, our macaque is awake. Now, he or she needs a nice mouth. So what we're going to do, very simply, we're just going to draw a line going across there like that. Mine's not quite horizontal, slightly up at an angle, which just adds a little bit more character, again, I think, to our little macaque. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to take my thinner pen and I'm just going to draw a line straight up from that mouth into the nose, like that. And that is a very characterful macaque face. Funny, isn't he, this guy? Very funny. I don't know why I think he's a guy. The one I'm drawing, I think, is a male macaque, and I think his name's going to be Michael. I really like giving animals, my animal characters, very human names. Sometimes I like giving them a surname too. So this could be Michael Wilkinson, the macaque. So I hope you're pleased to meet Michael Wilkinson here, and I wonder if your macaque has got an equally funny name. Right, the next thing, what am I talking about? The next thing I want you to do, coming up from the right side of our macaque's face, I want you to draw a sort of wavy line. So we're going to go up, round to the left, and then up again, like that. So sort of a meandering line like that. And once again, it's another mirror image. We're going to do the same on this side. So we're going to go up, round to the right, and it's all going to meet up, nearly meet up in the middle. We're just going to leave a little tiny gap just between those 2 lines. And then in that gap, I want you to draw some little sort of tufty bits like that. And that's going to be the top of our macaque's head. So macaques, they're fascinating creatures. They're very highly intelligent, obviously, as lots of primates are. And these guys can live for 15 to 20 years. So they have quite long lives. Can they survive on just fruit, fungus, that kind of thing? I think sometimes they even eat like lizards and frogs and maybe even small birds. But they mainly eat lots of fruit, I think. So maybe that's why they live for such a long time. They have pretty healthy diets. Right. Now, the next thing we need to do is the bottom part of our macaque's head. So I want you to imagine that this line here carries on through that face bit that we did. And this time it's going to come down, but it's going to whoop, head out to the right. Like that, and curve around a bit. Like so. While we're at it, let's do the one on the other side. So again, imagine that line keeps going through. You're going to come down, we're going to flare out, and then we're just going to turn back in. You can see I've left another gap, a bit like I did at the top of the head, and that's because we're going to add some more of these little tufty bits. So a good way of doing these tufty bits is just to do some little lines like that sort of fill in that gap. But although they sort of don't touch each other, it makes it look like it's a closed kind of shape, and a little bit kind of tufty and furry too. So hopefully your macaque's head is filling up about half of your piece of paper like that, because we're going to draw the body in the lower half. Okay, so first thing I want you to do, we're going to go to this side where this curve comes around here, and I want you to carry that on all the way down our page, slightly curving still, but almost a straight line, to about there. So leave about 2 centimeters gap at the bottom. And I'm going to make mine slightly curve out a bit more. That's the good thing with these brush pens. You can just adjust your line after you've drawn it. Okay? Then, next thing, we're going to go over to this side, but I'm going to start slightly lower down on this side, and my curve this time is going to come down slightly out to the left, but this time I'm going to stop. I'm not going to go down quite as far. I'm going to stop probably about there. And you'll see why that is in a minute, because we're going to draw our little macaque in a certain pose. In fact, why don't we do this now? From the bottom here, I want you to draw a line that goes out to the right. So let's get it level, maybe level with about the right hand side of the face. So about here, but going slightly upwards. So it's sort of done a right angle almost, but a bit more than a right angle. So it's going slightly uphill. It's a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, this. You'll see why I've done this in a minute when the whole drawing is done. But it actually does help to do it in this way. So now what I want you to do, just 1/4 centimeter away from the end, we're just going to do a little vertical line, like that. Maybe a couple of other little lines in there. Then, above that line, almost parallel with it, we're going to do another one, but this time slightly different angle, like so. Maybe a little bit further. And then we're just going to go up a little bit more. And that is actually going to be our macaque's right arm. Again, all will become clear, I promise you. Then the next thing, getting my tongue twisted then. The next thing I want you to do, about a centimetre and a half away from this little vertical line we did here, we're going to draw another line, sort of almost parallel, but comes down a little bit further. Then from this, imagine this is the elbow. This sharp point is the elbow. About 1/2 centimetre into that, we're going to do another little vertical line, about 1 centimetre long. Then we're going to come across, like so, up a tiny little bit, and then we'll join these two up. So we've done a sort of shape. And that is going to be our macaque's left arm. So our macaque is sort of folding his arms. Now, they have got these like funny long fingers, so they're nice and furry, but then they have these sort of like almost quite humanoid fingers. So we're just going to draw 4 little sausage shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be the fingers of our macaque's left hand. Now, if you imagine this is the right hand, it's kind of tucked behind the left arm here as if it's folded. But that means the fingers will be poking through and down here. So we're going to do 4 little sausage shapes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And can you see? It now looks as if by magic, it looks as if our little macaque has folded his arms. Okay, now, the next thing I want you to do, we're going to go back to this side and we are going to draw a horizontal line. I'm going to go a bit further down. A horizontal line going out to the left, about 1 centimetre long, like so. And then let's go back to this corner here and we're going to draw a sort of diagonal line that goes up and disappears behind those sausagey fingers. Then I want you to imagine that that line goes up behind this arm and then comes down over here just next to those fingers and just goes down a bit lower than that horizontal line that we drew. It's a jigsaw puzzle, this one, it really is, but it all will be clear soon. Then we're going to head right to about there, and then we're just going to go up and stop about there. So I don't know if you can see, but that is going to be our macaque's left leg, sort of folded up. So folded his arms and he's leaning on his own knee. So we're going to do the toes, which again, remember primates often have the whole thing about human evolution. The most important thing, one of the most important things, was the opposable thumb, which meant we could grip. Most animals don't have that. They just have the paws really. But because we had that meant we could grip and we could create tools. And that is why humans kind of soared in evolution, which is why we're now top of the food chain. And primates often share the opposable thumbs thing, and not just on their hands but also on their feet. And a macaque is very much a case in point. So first of all, we're going to do the 4 kind of sausagey toes like that, but then we're going to do a toe, sort of thumb, coming out to the side there. Very funny, isn't it? Let's do the other leg now. Then the other leg we're going to do coming out from beneath that elbow, but we'll do it a little bit more of an angle, like so. And we're going to do a similar shape to this, but this one is going to go up behind those fingers, and then we just get to see the other bit of leg sort of disappearing there, which is where his bottom is, like so. So again, let's do the 4 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, this is a cartoon, so it's not perfectly anatomically correct, but it's pretty good. And there we go. That, my friends, is our Sulawesi macaque outline. Pretty quick, huh? Pretty quick. Do you know what? I've forgotten something. Not to worry, because we still can add them in. The ears, they have quite prominent, sort of slightly sticky outy ears, these guys. So what I want you to do, just next to where the face is, here, we're going to add a little ear shape sticking out there, a little ear shape sticking out there, like so. Now, if you've watched lots of my videos, you will know how I draw the inside bits of ears, because they're sort of quite fiddly, aren't they, insides of ears. Primates, very similar to human, they have all those creases and those folds and all those bits, but I simplify it. I just do a little swirl like this. Swirly whirly. You know me, I like doing swirly bits. So there we go, little swirly whirly bits. And that, my friends, is how you draw a Sulawesi macaque outline. It's time to colour in now. Now, you know the rules here. I'm going to probably stick quite close to nature. Now, these guys tend to really be quite sort of, they're black really. They're sort of black fur, black, maybe brown fur, maybe with some blue kind of tinges in the fur. So I'm going to stick to that. And their faces are, some primates have much lighter faces than the fur, but these guys, the faces are also quite kind of dark. But you know the rules. This is Draw with Rob. You can do any colours you like on your Sulawesi macaque. Yours could be rainbow coloured. Yours could be bright orange with purple spots. Yours could be bright pink with yellow stripes. Yours could be bright blue with red star shapes. I don't know. The more colourful, the better, I think. You need to be as creative as you can. I am, as I usually do, I'm going to stick to nature's colour palette. But I'm going to go into super speed mode to colour mine in. So I will see you back here in about 20 seconds, right? You ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. So there we are, a coloured in Sulawesi macaque. Now, Do you remember I said that basically these guys, they look, you know, if you just had a glance at them, you'd say these guys, they just look, their fur looks very black. But actually, if you really look at, this is true of white fur as well as black fur. If you really, really closely look, you'll see that actually there's all sorts of different colours going on. Maybe sometimes there's lots of browns and reds and things. But in my particular version of the macaque here, I've added lots of blues and greys into my black fur. And I think it still kind of looks like black fur, but if I had just coloured it all in black, then you'd have lost all the details of the arms and that sort of thing. And I wanted to be able to kind of see everything that was going on still in my finished drawing. And similarly, I said to you, didn't I, that their faces were very dark too. I've made mine slightly lighter just so that we can still see the nose and the eyebrows and the mouth and the bits of the ears and stuff, because I didn't want to lose all of that detail. And you know what, this is Draw with Rob, so we can take a bit of artistic license, can't we? We can use whatever colours we like. As I said, hopefully some of you guys have done multicoloured macaques. But I just want to tell you about the colouring method that I used, which helped to accentuate the sort of the furriness of my macaque. So can you see I've sort of done scribbly colouring with lots of lines, and I've made those lines sort of follow the shape of the arms and the legs, so it goes up diagonally and down diagonally, down vertically, horizontally, down again. And I just think that helps to kind of describe the shape of the body of the macaque and make it still feel kind of furry and fluffy. So hopefully you can see that that works. And the thing is, this macaque's sort of all one colour apart from the eyes, those nice bright yellow eyes, which they actually do have bright yellow eyes, and they really pop, they really kind of stand out and draw your attention to them, which I think is really nice in this drawing. And of course I've added some scribbly shadow around the bottom and the feet to make it really look like our macaque is sitting on the surface, which I think is very, very important. There's one thing that I haven't done yet. Can you guess what it is, guys? Something I tell you to do to every drawing, very important part of every drawing. What is it? That's right, I've got to sign my drawing. So I'm going to write my name down here, Rob, like so. There we go, signed and finished. Do you know what? I really want to see your drawings, guys. Do you know how I can see your drawings? Get somebody to take a picture of the drawings, and then you can post it on their social media using this hashtag Draw with Rob. That way I will get to see it. If you're watching on Facebook, you can just comment below this video with a picture of your drawing, and I will get to see that too. And I really can't wait to see your drawings. This is the best part of the whole of Draw with Rob for me, is seeing all of your drawings afterwards. I really, really love it. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. That way you'll get a little notification every time a new video comes out. So turn your notifications on. That would be very good. What else can I tell you? Oh yes, why don't you subscribe to my newsletter too? Here you go, just go to this address here and sign up. And that way you'll get sent an email whenever a new Draw with Rob video comes out, or a new book comes out, or whenever I'm doing a live event, because I might well be coming to a town near you soon, and then you can come and see me do my stage show, and then afterwards you'll come and meet me and you can show me your drawings and I will sign your books for you. That will be fun, won't it? Apart from that, I think that's us done. So I really hope you've enjoyed drawing your macaque. I've loved showing you how to do it. I'm going to be back very soon with a brand new episode of Draw with Rob. In the meantime, everybody, keep those pencils sharp and keep on drawing, keep on reading, and take care. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye. It's Rob here, and I'm delighted to tell you about my brand new My First Draw with Rob activity book, and it is this one, Vehicles. So it is full of literally every vehicle that you could imagine. Yes, there are diggers. Yes, there are cars. Yes, there are bicycles. There are trains, aeroplanes, helicopters, boats, submarines, even rocket ships. You name it. It is in this book. There are pages where you have to do some colouring. There's bits where I start the drawing off and you guys have to finish the drawing. There are lots of puzzles. And of course, there are lots of draw-alongs too, with lovely frames for you to do your drawings in. So listen, if vehicles are your thing, you should check this book out. I think you're going to like it.